I'd like to call the May 20th Board of Education meeting open. We could have a moment of silence. Flag salute. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, a public notice of this meeting has been sent to board members, all district schools, the Herald News, the Suburban Trends, the Record, the Messenger, West Milford Town Hall, the County Superintendent's Office, the Board Attorney, Cablevision of Warwick and West Milford TV 77, and posted in the Administrative Building. Copies of the board meeting calendar resolution were provided to all local media, Town Hall, Township Library, and all district schools. Roll call, please, Mr. Schultz.
Mr. Stotovich?
Here.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Here.
Mr. Guarino? Mrs. Jurgensen?
Here.
Mr. Lippy?
Here.
Mrs. Marquardt?
Here.
Mrs. Rapano?
Here.
Mrs. Van Dyke?
Here.
Mrs. Lockwood?
Here. Thank you. The superintendent's report, Dr. Kitchen.
Yes, so first thing I want to get to is our HIB grades for the 23-24 school year. So if you remember, these do get presented to you back in the fall, but that's the self-assessment. Then that gets submitted to the state for the certified scores. Nothing has changed from them, but you can view it in your executive content there, and it will be posted on the website. So our overall district score is 75. That is out of a possible 78. And you can look at the individual school scores there. Max score is 78. So we have, let's see, 74 at Apshua, 77 at Macapin, Maple Road is a 76, Marshall Hill is a 75, PK is a 74, UGL is a 75, and the high school is a 73. So again, a total district score of 75 out of a possible 78 on our HIB scores, which is pretty good. You can look a little more detailed on what the breakdown means there. It's just about making sure you've got appropriate programs in order, staff trainings, and we're following procedures appropriately. So we do a pretty good job with all of those things, and we've got a couple more we'll be discussing in exec tonight. So that's where we're at with that. Any questions on any of that? Again, we kind of did go through this in the fall. This is just a certification of those scores. No? And then the other thing I wanted to do is just go through a few recognitions. A couple of these things were approved last month, but I do think it's important that we now recognize them now since they are official. Some donations here. So HEF had a significant donation for assistive technology at PK. I want to thank them for that. That was through one of their HEF grants. Maple Road PTA, clear touch panels and picnic tables, which I know are really helpful in our Maple Road community, so thank you to them. I also want to mention I hope I don't pronounce the name wrong, the Beckiers family, for donating money for the ski team uniforms. So our ski team needed new uniforms, and they stepped up and donated them, so that's really great. And then one we've been talking about, but I think it's worth noting again, so our UGL playground, obviously our UGL PTA is the primary driver behind that, but also the Rotary Club and a big donation from the Babula family. So that's really exciting. It's awesome that they're getting a big new feature on that playground there, and I think we mentioned in one of our committee reports last month, but the date on that is in July. So for the start of the new school year, we'll have a whole new playground up there, which is really exciting. So that's all I have, but I will turn things over to our student representative, Megan Seidner.
Good evening. Here is the debrief on all things West Milford from late April to now. West Milford High School students spanning all grades took their Advanced Placement, or AP, exams from Monday, May 6th, and to Friday, May 17th. The West Milford High School Guidance Department worked really hard to ensure that they ran smoothly for each 3-hour test twice per day. Thank you, AP class teachers, for preparing students for their tests. Congratulations to students and staff alike for their hard work. Scores will be released early July and are accessible through your College Board account. For now, though, give yourself a pat on the back and enjoy your lack of finals in all of those classes. On May 8th, West Milford High School proudly and honorably inducted the newest members of the National Honor Society. Congratulations to all new inductees, including the new board. President Brennan Traverso, Vice President Selma Sadam, Historian Elizabeth Easter, Treasurer Kevin Docra, and Secretary Althea Edelstein. You have worked so hard, and this is an acknowledgement of your excellent character and dedication to your craft. Continue to shine bright and honor the National Honor Society's 4 pillars. West Milford High School freshmen and juniors have been representing the West Milford school districts by giving their all in the NJSLA testing that began on Thursday, May 15th, and will end tomorrow, Wednesday, the 21st. The NJSLA is a state-mandated assessment which provides the district with valuable information regarding student learning and will advise curriculum revisions and support programs. Juniors took the Science NJSLA on Thursday, May 15th and Friday, May 16th. Freshmen took the English NJSLA on Thursday, May 15th and Friday, May 16th. And freshmen also took the Math NJSLA today and will take their final part tomorrow. Do your best and keep up the great work. During these days, we had and will continue to have a very unique schedule in which the first period starts at 9:35 a.m., so very nice sleep in. Now for the sports news. Track. Track has had an incredible season. On Friday, May 16th and Saturday, May 17th, the outdoor track team participated in the New Jersey State Interscholastic Athletic Association North Jersey Section 1 Group 2 Championships at Vernon Township High School. Notable efforts during this are Noah Diogenet earning a gold medal in the 400-meter dash, Peyton Lowenstein earning second in the javelin and third in the shot put, Kira Clinton earning fifth, and Amanda Harvey earning seventh in the 1,600-meter run, Abigail Hires earning seventh in the pole vault, Sarah Foley earning 10th in the 400-meter dash, Lorenzo Andrade earning second in the 400-meter hurdles and sixth in the 200-meter dash, Julian Pierre earning fourth in the high jump, Zachary McDowell earning 10th in the 400-meter hurdles, Tyler Meyer earning 6th in the high jump, 9th in the long jump, and 9th in the triple jump, and Aiden Dean earning 7th in javelin. Congratulations everyone on all of your accomplishments. Keep up the incredible work. Baseball. Baseball has barreled through the competition and, on Saturday, May 17th, the 5th-seeded Highlanders lost 0-13 in 5 innings to top-seeded DePaul in the semifinal round of the Passaic County Tournament in Wayne. They fought very hard in each inning and played incredibly well throughout the season. We are so proud of your efforts, boys. Softball. The softball team has been working very hard and currently has a record of 5-11. They just won against Lakeland at home on Thursday, May 15th. This has broken their 7-game losing streak. Please use this momentum to pick up more victories. You got this. Go softball. Boys lacrosse. Boys lacrosse has been scoring and saving highly in their games, with junior goalie Tyler Akinfrio matching his career-high 23 saves in their most recent game against Tenafly on May 12th, helping push towards a victory. This most recent victory results in the Highlanders having a record of 8-10. Keep it up. Girls lacrosse. Girls lacrosse may have a current record of 1-14, but they have their final game scheduled against Pequannock at 4:30 p.m. on May 22nd. Please consider stopping by to cheer for our girls. They've been scoring very highly and practicing hard. We believe in you, girls. Boys tennis. Boys tennis has fought hard and is on a path to continue to do so, as they completed their 2025 season with a 7-9 record, a 4-6 record in the Independence Division of the Big North Conference, and made it into states. Their first match is against Montville today. Go boys tennis. We hope you are proud of today's performance. Boys golf. On May 1st, boys golf placed 6th in the Big North Conference tournament at Preakness Valley Golf Course in Wayne. Mason Moore shot a team low 85 to contribute to the success. Great work, boys. Girls golf. On April 24th, girls golf placed 16th in the Big North Conference Championships at Valley Brook Golf Course in Riverdale. Bridget Nevin led the effort with a shot of 112. Great efforts, girls. And now for a brief look into the future. Tomorrow, May 21st, the West Milford High School will host the Governor's Educator of the Year breakfast and presentation. Congratulations to all teachers across New Jersey for being recognized for their incredible efforts that they put in each and every day. Please know that us students see and appreciate you immensely. The West Milford High School War and Remembrance Day will be held on May 22nd from 7:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. in the high school. This ceremony is to honor current service members and veterans. Additionally, there will be an opportunity for deceased service members and veterans to be recognized. For more information, please reach out to Mrs. Metcalf or Ms. Chenkata. Later that day, the Science Honor Society will be inducting new members in the high school's Lower Media Center. Congratulations to all members. We wish for your continued curiosity and passion in the world of science. Highlander Day will be held on May 24th at the backfield. There will be lots of fun games, face painting, temporary tattoos, and a variety of delicious foods. The school day will run on an early dismissal schedule from 7:13 a.m. to 12:19 p.m., and the event will start at 12:20 p.m. and run until 2 p.m. Make sure to bring money, as it does cost. On May 28th, the English Honor Society will be inducting new members in the high school's auditorium. Congratulations on this accomplishment. We hope that you continue to analyze, create, and perform various works of literature. Prepare your paddles. On May 29th, starting at 5 p.m., the National Honor Society will be holding a pickleball tournament in the high school gym. All sign-up proceeds will go to head custodian Damian Fitzpatrick in order to help his daughter fight cancer. Together, we can make a difference, so please do consider playing or attending. If you have questions or wish to sign up, please email Megan Seidner, that's me, at megan.scidner@wmtps.net. On June 4th, West Milford High School's Guidance Department will be hosting a community scholarship night in the high school's auditorium starting at 7 p.m. This evening is a celebration of our graduating seniors and the incredible generosity of local organizations, businesses, and families who sponsor these awards. As of May 15th, $97,500 in scholarships are scheduled to be given to chosen students. Seniors, please be sure to check your email to see if you have been invited to this incredible event. Thank you so much to the hard work of the Guidance Department for putting this together and to the willingness and kindness of the providing parties. The class of 2025 is so incredibly grateful. And lastly, seniors, this one is for you. The senior prom with the theme of Mystery at Midnight is to be held on June 5th. All prom bids and seating arrangements have been accounted for since last week, so all that is left is to dress up and have fun. Thank you very much for your time. I look forward to updating you next month. Please enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Megan. So Megan did touch on it, but I do want to mention, it's not on my report, but we are tomorrow hosting the County Educator of the Year breakfast. A couple details to that I want to mention. So this is a breakfast that has not happened the past couple of years. So it typically happens at an outside venue, and it was just becoming too much of a cost issue, so it hadn't happened the past couple of years. And West Milford has also not participated in the nomination process for a few years now. So really exciting that we have so many amazing teachers being recognized, and it's really exciting that we had the opportunity to host it. And credit where it's due, and I know I give this guy credit very often because he deserves it. I got a text message earlier in the year from Mr. Dan Novak saying, "Hey, this breakfast might not happen again. Do you think we could host it?" I said, "Yeah, I think we probably could." He goes, "I thought you were going to say that, so I already told them that we could." And then after that, we sat down, and having a conversation like, "Oh, maybe we can find somebody to sponsor it." So then within 24 hours, he had people fighting over who could sponsor the event. So we not only are we hosting, we got the entire event paid for, and it's really something great to bring back. It may be something we host again in the future. It may be something that now gets passed around to some other schools, but really looking forward to an awesome event. So we'll be here bright and early tomorrow, making sure probably also late tonight, going to check and make sure everything's set up properly. But we're excited to host it. So then again, thank you to Dan for.
I'll jump in a little bit. I just want to say thank you to everyone at the high school and other schools and central office staff who helped get us ready for what we're going to have tomorrow. Thank you for mentioning it. You also had the most kind words I've ever heard about the NJSLA. So thank you. We need more of that. Thank you. We're expecting about 265 guests from around the county. All the teachers of the year, their guests, and superintendents from all of the districts, as well as the county office, county executive superintendent, the president of the Passaic County Teachers Association, Sheriff Adamo, I'm not saying that correctly. Tell me tomorrow. Was it? Adamo. All right. Find out tomorrow. So we had a lot of guest speakers. The high school did a great job. We are going to show off West Milford Public Schools. I know Mr. Glenn and our maintenance and custodian staff did a great job getting the not only the school but the complex ready. We're going to have plenty of signage for getting everyone parking. Our Heroes and Cool Kids are going to be out there to escort and show everyone where to go, to help them find registration, help them find the proper entrance, those types of things. We have our golf cart fleet pilot, headed by Dr. Kitchen, ready to help with mobility if necessary. Our art department is going to be displaying a lot of the work that we had at our arts festival. We have some background music being provided by our music department during the breakfast. Our bagpipes are going to lead our Teachers of the Year into the event, and our chorus is going to sing the national anthem, and then the county's going to take it from there and honor all of our teachers. So a great opportunity to honor the things that we do really well in West Milford. So very, very exciting. Thank you for bringing it up.
And I think we sometimes, because we are such a different community than a lot of Passaic County, I think it's really cool that we get a chance to highlight some of the things because this is, look, I haven't been in Passaic County very long, obviously, but I've been to these breakfasts before. They don't look like this. This is something really unique and special, so I think it's really cool that we're going to showcase who we are because, people don't, every time we're participating in anything, it's always down county, down county, down county. So to have something up here and to showcase what an amazing place this is, we're super excited.
And just talking about our sponsor, we were fortunate to bump into West Milford legend Hall of Famer Kevin Walker, who is affiliated with one of the technology firms that we do some purchasing from, and he was able to get the sponsored breakfast from MRA International. So their CEO is going to be on site tomorrow morning to be there to honor all of our teachers as well. Brian and I happened to be bragging about the event at Spring Leadership last week, and one of our reps overheard us talking about the event, and they asked, how can we get in on this? So we have next year's already sponsored in advance. So really, really good stuff.
Sounds great.
That's it for me.
Thank you, Dr. Kitchen. And Mr. Novak, now it's your turn again, Mr. Novak, Assistant
Great.
Superintendent's report.
All right, in a minute, I'm going to introduce Mr. Santoro and Mr. Glenn. They're going to help present on our the creation of our esports lab at Macapan and an overview of what esports is and why it's meaningful to our schools and not just an arcade or not just a place for students to enjoy gaming together, but it has some significant impact on our schools and the future of the students who participate in it. So while the projector's warming up, I'm going to talk about the other item. Is that coming up? All right. Also, the other part I want to talk about, last week we had a change in, many years ago we discussed having curriculum-based projects by grade level, and we're probably in the, I guess, 4th or 5th year of those grade level trips where our kindergarten students will all go to a particular farm, or our 5th grade will visit Ellis Island. Our 2nd grade class has typically visited a place called Museum Village, which many people has been near and dear to many people's hearts over the years. There was concern from our 2nd grade teachers that I guess the offerings that were there currently, due to staff cuts and budget, weren't as full as they had in the past. So I discussed this with 2nd grade, and we decided to send them all to a play at the Mayo Performing Arts Center in Morristown. So that trip went out last week. Every 2nd grader participated, and they all went together in mass. And from the pictures and everything that they shared, they had an absolute great time. A lot of the feedback about our students who maybe some 2nd graders who this is their first opportunity to see a live performance, and we're very excited to participate in it. So that's leading to more discussions about the future of our grade level curriculum based trips, and probably a good time to revisit the locations that all of our grade levels are going, and just get the input from our staff and our students for how they want to continue. We're going to continue doing them. It's just probably a good time to refresh and take a look at our options.
Yeah, I just have a question. I know Fairview used to be 2 nights. Why was it reduced to 1 night, the Fairview trip?
I'm not entirely sure.
The age.
It was the age of the...
Yeah.
Right.
Didn't the grade change also?
Yeah.
So I think,
It
yeah, so...
used to be 7.
Right, so it used to be
Yeah.
7th
6.
graders.
Yeah.
Right, so the
Yeah.
Philadelphia trip is now in our 2nd grade, and that's a 2-night event. Washington is the traditional
Yeah.
length. And in the, before we moved 6th grade to the middle school, the main trip for our 7th graders was a longer time at Fairview, team building and all those types of things. And then the Washington trip was quite longer because they did Washington and then they did Philadelphia on the way home in one trip for 8th grade. So when we moved 6th grade to the middle school, it was an opportunity to split that trip out and not lose a whole week of school in June for our 8th grade, and then have opportunities for others. So I think I forgot that part of it. It was 6th grade 1 night and then 2 nights for 7th. All right, and now we are ready. People who are on this side, we're going to shift and we're going to a little bit of our esports presentation. Nate's always pushing the microphone. This is Tom Santoro. Tom has been a language arts teacher and a special education teacher at the Mackin schools. Little known fact that some people don't realize that he's also been the coach of our high school esports team for the last, how many years?
3 years now.
Last 3 years. So I'll let him talk about that, and he'll talk about some of the, I guess, accolades and success that club has had, that team has had, that I know many of us aren't aware of because they're not getting the highlights that some of our other organizations get. And then Tom will go into a little discussion about what esports is.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for allowing me to speak. Mr. Novak, Board of Education, Dr. Kitchens. This is one of those topics that I am very passionate about. I've been esports coach here for 3 years. Before I joined West Milford, I was a coach starting in actually 2018. I've had a team make it to the Final Four in the state for Rocket League. Walked away from a team that won a state championship in order to come to West Milford. But our successes here in West Milford, in our first year, we qualified for the playoffs for Overwatch in Garden State Esports. This was before everything got split into the group system that NJSIAA follows. So out of the nearly 200 schools involved, we made it into the playoff, which was about 32 teams. We got to about 16 before we were eliminated. Following year, second year of the program, we finished top 8 and had 1 student who got recognized as an all-star, 1 of 10 students recognized as an all-star for the state of New Jersey. This year, unfortunately, was a bit of a rebuilding year for us. We struggled a little bit, but with the presentation I'm about to go through for you, I have such high hopes for what the future is, because in Macoupin right now, there is a new group of students looking to join the team and to refill the ranks for us. So first off, I've been talking about esports as if you all understand what this is. These are some of the images you probably see when you're looking at it. You might have seen kids watching videos on YouTube or Twitch.tv where there's a person just talking over the video game that they're playing. Or you just see people sitting in front of a computer screen or gaming screen playing. But actually it is scholastic competition now. So if you look in the bottom corner of the picture there, you see 2 schools right before they go and they take the field. by going and sitting in front of their gaming computers to actually play the game. So now, why esports? Well, 2019, the winner of Wimbledon took home a prize of $2.9 million. The winner of the Fortnite World Cup took home over $3 million. And this has only grown more in proportion. Every year it's grown. This has now led to students actually earning college scholarships and job offers sometimes right out of high school. So, before, the fun fact for you all, think about this. Based on Forbes magazine, their review in 2022, the music industry made $26.2 billion globally. Movie industry only made $26 billion globally. The video game industry made $184.4 billion. So more than triple those two numbers combined. This is why it's so important for us to utilize this avenue. Students are already engaged in it. Students are already talking about it within the classrooms, coming in, talking about what they did on Fortnite or talking about what they did on Marvel Rivals. This is now giving them that avenue to, use it in an academic way. So, let me turn this over now to Mr. Novak.
So one of the things that I believe interested us in it in the last 2 years was the research coming in after the pandemic with students we had a sharp rise in school phobia, social emotional learning concerns, students who had trouble reconnecting with their peers and coming out of their homes. So esports, they've been doing the research on how it's had a big impact on chronic absenteeism. Chronic absenteeism, by definition, is a student who is absent for 10% or more during the school year. So that, for us, that's a student who is absent 18 times or more. We do have a few schools in our district that are currently on corrective action plans for a high percentage of chronic absenteeism. And we believe introducing this program into the middle school could help with that. Middle school is our location that has the highest rate of chronic absenteeism, so we believe that this is just one of many processes that we have in place to meet that, to improve that need. Increased engagement leads to improved attendance. The research behind it, students who participate in esports programs often report a stronger sense of belonging and motivation to attend school. So often the student who's not connected to the traditional athletics or the traditional clubs doesn't have a strong in-person fan base, is just playing with their friends online and connected that way, don't often see that connection at school. That leads to a desire over time to not want to be there and to be where they are socially successful. Esports gets kids out of that habit. Schools offering structured esports programs, so notable improvements in school attendance and behavior for previously disengaged students. So we know our demographic, we know all of the students that we have who are chronically absent, and this is going to be we're implementing an esports class, going to be taught by Mr. Santoro. Very little of it is actually gameplay. A lot of it is team building and social emotional learning skills and a lot of those public speaking. There's a lot of components of a successful career that go into what it means to be part of an esports program. We are tracking. We're going to do this as an action research project and take a look at the students who we have currently, our cohorts of students who are currently chronically absent, and track how this works out over the next year or two, and then be able to report back on do we see what the research suggests we're going to see by the implementation of an esports program. Providing purpose and connection, something that's been in education for a very long time is the phrase, the 3 C's. Every student wants to be capable, connected, and contributing. There's been a disconnect in those things, since the pandemic, and a gap in that interconnection for kids. This is one of many ways that we can try and correct those disconnects. Tom?
So academic esports. This is where, as Mr. Novak was just saying, students are going to be learning teamwork. They're going to develop critical thinking skills. Leadership skills will come along with this, and how to be part of a team. They're going to have to learn how to win, how to lose. Because unfortunately with video games, not everyone can be a winner. And this is really, we get into it, like there are other middle schools in New Jersey that have esports programs that we would be able to compete against. It's not just high school competition, there is a middle school level competition as well for this. So benefits for it as, in terms of what does this look like academically, in terms of our Pathways program. Not only are we developing critical thinking skills, students that get involved in esports will start getting experience and exposure to graphic design, coding. When I say competition, I mean the creation and the running of a competition. So having students actually come into a class one day and setting up their own tournament rather than, okay, everyone draw a number and we are going to just randomly place you. Teamwork, some of these games are going to require that they need to be in communication in order to succeed. As I get through the game list, I'll point those out to you. Collaboration with these games that require teamwork, it's not just you can sit there and be quiet, you must be communicating and working with the group. One person decides to go rogue, that team is now at a disadvantage. So, and this is where communication again is one of those critical skills. So now, outside of video games, so I say this many times, esports is not just for the gamers, it's for anyone who wants to get involved, because we need people to do social media management and marketing. Part of those skills that this course is going to use is utilizing the green screen to be able to talk about game clips of what they're seeing going on, what makes this clip so special, which is also content creation, where students now can utilize this in their own everyday lives, not just in the classroom. We'll teach them how to stream as well so that they can broadcast their gaming out to a wider audience. Shoutcasting, which is another word for it, the play-by-play, the commentary announcements. These are looking for, in high school, or middle school now, you get to start developing these skills, not at the high school level. And broadcasting, because we will hopefully be, I shouldn't say hopefully, we will be putting out content through a school-sponsored Twitch channel for all the great things that we go doing. So now, what does this kind of go looking like in a classroom? Well, if a student is looking at, I just made a blueprint for a house, we can now have them go into a game like Minecraft and actually build the blueprint of that house. They're going to be able to utilize gaming footage that they've recorded and captured to create a tutorial or play-by-play commentary. I know from my own personal experience, I've caught my nephew just watching other people play video games. And I'm like, why aren't you just doing that? And he's like, if I knew how to do it, I totally would do it. And that just kind of stuck with me of, hey, in this class now, I can actually teach a kid like my nephew how to do this. They can create their own social media channel, networking, by creating smaller clips of this, putting out larger ones, and even allowing them to possibly start generating their own income at a middle school, high school level. And they get to expand upon these skills once they go up into the high school by either following one of our computer science or graphic art pathways. So at the middle school, the games that are currently available at the Macapin Esport Club are Super Smash Brothers, Mario Party, Fortnite, Minecraft, Overcooked, which is one of these teamwork-based games where this is a less known one. You are managing a restaurant with a teammate and needing to fulfill dining orders as they keep coming in. Mario Kart, which is another, we use it as a team-based game, almost similar to how track does it. We go keeping track of times in order to determine which team is the winner of these little Mario Kart meets. And Rocket League, which is a soccer-like game using pretty much RC cars in order to play. Now, at the high school, we do offer Super Smash Brothers. A new one that is going to be offered that I know a lot of students are very happy about now is the Marvel Rivals game. Fortnite is still offered, Minecraft, League of Legends, Mario Kart, Valorant, Street Fighter, and Rocket League. So all these games have that teamwork component, even the ones that traditionally you think of, oh, it's a single player, how is this a teamwork? Well, for something like Super Smash Brothers or Street Fighter, you're in a team of 3, and it's best of 3. And here are some of the photos of our Macapin Esports Club since we have been up and running. So you can see students are all just kind of gathering. In the top right corner, that's the Overcooked game that I was referring to. But you have students who are, while they're waiting for a turn to get in, they're watching, they are analyzing the gameplay that is going on, and after a match is going on, giving one another feedback and criticism on how to improve. Those are those critical thinking skills that we are referring to, and they're already doing it now in a unofficial capacity without realizing it's exactly what I'm hoping and wanting to see in a classroom environment. So the other thing is community matters. Esports is offered to students of all backgrounds. Garden State Esports, which is the New Jersey governing body for esports, has a Valkyrie League for all female competition, a unified program, and a general program for all. So it is, when I say it's equal access for participation, I mean anyone can participate. With roles for managers, players, shoutcasters, and content creators, it doesn't mean this is for gamers only. Anyone who wants to get involved and has a passion for this is available to join, and all of these roles are important. Emphasizing one more time, they're learning real world skills already in a middle school level. We're promoting healthy competition and positive values. I have gone over and sent stretches for gaming to avoid things like carpal tunnel syndrome to family members that are doctors of just, hey, I'm gonna be doing this class and I wanna make sure that these stretches are actually appropriate, and they've gotten back to me. First, you're going to teach a class on this? And second, these stretches are great. We should have been doing them since we were teenagers. And students have been saying that, yeah, we can play the games at home, but it's nothing compared to being in the room with one another. We had to do some upgrades today, unfortunately having to cancel club, and students were coming up to me just, can I come tomorrow even though it's not my day? When can I make up a day? Like, they are wanting this program. So once again, Matt, Mr. Novak.
I made the font a little too small for myself. And Megan, I see you nodding as we're talking here. You understand this language?
Yes.
Okay, many of us don't. I don't know what Twitch is. I don't know what shoutcasting is, but he does, and they do. So that's why this matters.
I have
And
some
they,
questions.
right. So how it fits, so Highlander Pathways is something that we launched this year for our incoming 8th graders going to the high school, where it's a college and career readiness pathway. Esports fits wonderfully into our existing computer science and our broadcasting journalism pathway. So what one of the things we talk about when we implement structures in the middle school that we want to see carried through to the high school is about building capacity. So as we add a class such as esports, or where you see we're not only offering esports, we're offering robotics, we're offering basic computer programming, so kids can get those conceptual hands-on skills for what programming is before it transitions to a C++ or Java type experience. It starts here. So I'm not going to go through all these things, but what you can see is a progression of, from exposure to digital citizenship, which is something that I've talked about in this room forever. Content creation, streaming, how to, the public speaking piece, basic public speaking skills. That's something that our high school teachers see lacking for a majority of our students, because we don't have currently, we don't have a process in place where the public speaking is in a natural, I guess a naturally engaging way to the students that we have with us now. We have the iPhone generation is in our schools now, and they see things a little bit differently, and we have to adjust. As you move on to 8th grade, exposure to coding, video game design, basic IT supports, hardware, peripherals, software setups, how to connect a controller, those are actually like programming skills. As they move into the high school, that's where a CTE pathway can begin, and that's where a student will be able to sort of fine-tune their interest. Are they going to go the pathway of broadcasting and multimedia, TV video editing, or are they going to go the path of computer science and computer programming? That's something that we now offer. We have that for every student who wants to be part of it at the West Milford High School, and this is only going to enhance it. If you see as you progress, and I want to point out one, social media strategy, audience engagement. These are all, all very lucrative careers that our students can have access to. We don't have a great process for creating access to these markets yet with some of our current offerings. Game design paths. So starting in 11th grade, I'm going to point out one thing there. I've been talking about a lot lately. Something called Unreal Engine, and that Megan's nodding, love it. Like speaking, that's what we're doing it for. We're speaking their language. Unreal Engine is the word program. Did I say program? Is that old?
It's the go-to for design for not
Design.
only video games,
Right.
but also CGI for post-production on movie and television.
Visuals.
So in layman's terms, it's how they're making Fortnite, it's how they're creating Marvel and Star Wars movies. So that's a lucrative career path, and our students are going to be getting exposed to those types of things, or whatever comes after Unreal Engine once that's beyond. So again, these are going to be part of our pathways for our students as they progress forward.
So again, I have now I started coaching esports since just before COVID. So what's changed since COVID? The New Jersey School Board Association is now allowing for high school students to earn esport varsity letters as of this school year. New Jersey, through Garden State Esports, has developed its own high school, middle school, and collegiate esport league. In addition, there's a national collegiate esport program. Number of esports labs and colleges and schools has greatly increased, that even community colleges are now starting to, convert those commuter lounges into esport labs. And gaming competition fundraisers are on the rise, which leads us to the one that I have been telling Mr. Novak that I've wanted to do for years now, a Smash Madness tournament where we can get 64 students into one March Madness-like bracket and narrow it down to one champion.
All right, so thank you, Mr. Santoro. So we are, the date on that hasn't been revealed yet because we are still in the process of networking the lab. And Mr. Glenn's going to come up in a minute and talk about the process for how we built the esports lab here in West Milford. And I'll fill some time while Tom switches gears. Along with that, that's probably going to be our ribbon cutting night, where we're going to, first bring in a much larger crowd into the esports space. As you see the presentation, you're going to see it's not only esports, it's also going to be future home of Macapin Robotics and Macapin Robotics Club, which is our robotics program right now is currently in a classroom on desks, and now it's a true fully functioning lab with access to a robotics field, which is the space that they need to complete tasks and to go to compete. We're seeing, I can talk, stop, fill in more time. Last part before I turn it over to Mr. Glenn is we are in the process of creating the first middle school competition, interscholastic competition in Passaic County, because we are going to be hosting a middle school esports team from Little Ferry to come to the Macapin School and go against the club that Mr. Santoro has been working on. So, very excited about that, and now I'll turn it over to, dream to reality.
Thank you, Mr. Novak.
Tom.
Hello. Yeah, turn it on. I turn
You're trying to do sports
All right, so thank you, Mr. Novak. There we go. Thank you very much. So I just want to kind of run through how we got to where we are with this. Mr. Novak came to me in December last week before we went on the Christmas break, and he wanted to know if we could make it happen. And I was very excited when we went and we walked into the former wood shop at Macapin School. At the time, it was being used as a storage area, and I welcomed the challenge, and I knew that my team could do it. It was being used for storage, and there was just all kinds of stuff that we wanted to get out of there, and we also saw an opportunity to recycle. So this is where we started from. So we moved a lot of machinery. We sent some of it to the high school. We repurposed several items, including some of the tables and the stools. Right there, the stools, those are the ones that are actually in there. We donated a lot of supplies to the STEM lab that's across the hallway. We started by cleaning out the space. We removed the cabinets on the walls and the bookshelves. This is where the green screen, you'll see later, that's where we put it. And this is the wall that some of the game consoles are on. This is a very important workbench in the space, as you'll see. There's an overhead view. We got together with Tom and we're cleaning out the space, and we started to plan and kind of dream of what the space could actually be. And with Tom and his knowledge and having done this kind of thing before was instrumental in setting up our thing here. So cleaning out the space, starting to take shape here. Here's your green screen. It's aluminum studs, sheetrock, and then we had to get the green screen paint. We took all that extra stuff out, and this is that workbench that we wanted to transform into we wanted a wall, but you technically can't put a wall there the way that we envisioned it. So we kind of built a piece of furniture that will kind of act like a wall to separate the two areas. So that's that same workbench that I pointed out earlier. So we refresh the floor. We used a machine with a diamond pad on it, scuffed up the floor, put a 2-part epoxy on the floor with an additive for traction. We figured dark was a nice color. Now, this is the workbench that's now part of the wall, and here's your green screen. This is the actual green screen with the paint. As you can see, there's light being reflected on there from the windows and the sun. This is where the gaming consoles are going to be put. So yeah, we repurposed tables from here that we had in storage as the tables for the lab. So I wanted to highlight this because this is that workbench. This is Glenn Keith, he's our carpenter. He did a heck of a job. He's got the electric going through the wall, while the cables run through, so it looks nice. And he basically made something out of nothing, I think. So we have 10 gaming stations. Each station has 2 smaller monitors and 1 bigger monitor. I guess, Tom, you might be able to tell what the purpose of the different size monitors are, or whatever you want.
So in order to just kind of allow for more gameplay to happen, or when we're just working in smaller gaming groups, the larger 45-inch monitor is for the multiplayer games where we are having more than 2 students play at one time. We have had up to 8 students playing simultaneously on one of those 45-inch screens. And then on the smaller 20-inch screens, those are where the students are able to play single player, allow for more space. Once we actually get going and we start utilizing more games like Rocket League, where students need their own smaller screen, this is where we're actually going to be utilizing those 20-inch screens on a more regular basis as well.
Thank you. So yeah, and then these are the larger screen TVs that we have. One is featured in the gaming area, and the other one is in the broadcasting / viewing area. So we had to add some window tinting. If you look on this lower left side, you got that glare that's coming right across that green screen. So we added a window tint, and we added some nice new air conditioners in there because with all tech, it adds to the temperature of the room. So we took a proactive approach on that. All right, so now it's game time. We started bringing the kids in with the club. This is where the fun begins. I entered a little contest in the bracket, and I got whooped. my career in the esports game was pretty short. But you know, it's fun to walk into the room and just see the kids playing, smiles on their faces, coming up and thanking me and Tom and everybody for the work, and it's worth it. And they said it, they coach each other, they help each other, and it's really encouraging to see. This is a very important slide. This is what it's all about. This is quotes from the kids. This is what they're saying about the club and the activity that we got set up over there in Milford. So this is where it's at. Take that in for a second. But it's a great club. It's awesome. So how much do we spend on it? That's what we spent on material for this job.
To the quote that we got.
The quote?
Yes.
What was the quote that we got?
The initial quote was just under $500,000, $492,000 to build a state-of-the-art esports arena in the upper library of the high school. That was the first quote that we got. After sticker shock and explaining, are you nuts? They came down quite a bit, and then the cheapest quote that we got, and we went through the quotes today. One of the quotes that fits the specifications of what we built was for about $169,000. So that was the quote we got to build what Mr. Glenn and his crew were able to build for that. That's the materials, that's the cost to the local budget. The technology tools that you saw, I was able to leverage our access to title money. Dr. Belzer and I collaborated on the computer science grant last year, so we were able to utilize funds from the computer science grant for this purpose. We made a great connection at Digital Citizenship Night this year, where we were visited by, her name's Rebecca Collop. She was the, going blank, it's a long title, Computer Science Innovation Specialist for the state of New Jersey. She works for the New Jersey Department of Education. I invited her to Digital Citizenship Night because part of the grant was to hold an outreach event, and we do an outreach event better than anybody. So she came and she saw what we did, and then, and yes, they didn't want to leave. So I spoke with her afterwards about allowable uses for our grant funds, and if our middle school esports process, once we implement the cycle courses for our 6th and 7th graders and maybe a more elaborate course for 8th graders, that pathway, if it leads to our CTE pathways, it's an allowable use, and that's exactly what we were using it for. So we made a great relationship. She's been our Obi-Wan Kenobi in this process with being able to ask a question, can we do this, can we do that, and she's been all on board. So cost to West Milford is right there. After a quote of, starting with, $500,000, that's what it costs us to do it because of the know-how and the people that we have. We're able to see the vision and get it done. I still don't know what a shoutcast is, and Twitch, but they do.
So these are the folks that made it happen. Glenn Keith is my carpenter, Phil DeWitt's my electrician, Mike Cole's our plumber, Mike Corder, Wayne Barrett, Todd Keller, Scott Hardy Jr., we're all in maintenance. Billy Schaefer is a custodian, and Eric is a part-timer that comes to help us. They just worked, timing was perfect for this because it was the winter, and we were a little slow in some other projects, so this was a good opportunity to put those skills to work. So we did a hell of a job. Special thank you for Tom Santoro for his guidance in the design of the lab facilitating the esports club. You're truly valued with your dedication, your expertise. Please submit. And the possibilities are endless, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. I don't know if Dr. Rambo and
What did he, what happened?
Nothing. Microphone was off. Dr. Kitchen. Dr. Kitchen didn't mention yet that we are holding our executive session in the esports lab today, so you get to see it. You get to see it for yourselves.
So I do want to thank. I do want to thank Mr. Novak, Mr. Glenn, Mr. Santoro for all their work that went into this. Worth mentioning that this idea did stem, our board was involved in the origin of this whole thing because this conversation originated back at school boards in the fall while we were walking the floor together. And there was an esports company that was down there. In fact, that company was, I believe that was the same. That was not the company that gave us the large quote. We did walk through with them to discuss what was necessary. We didn't get a bid from them. We got another bid based on what they told us was necessary. But again, so all of you were a part of this as well because that's kind of where the whole thing started from. And I'm just so blessed to work with some go-getters that they get an idea and they run with it. So Again, Mr. Novak, Mr. Glenn, Mr. Santora, great job.
I think that concludes my report. I just want to say thank you to Dr. McLaughlin for his support in the process. So,
Thank you, Mr. Novak.
I really love
You were
it.
like on that booth the whole time.
Can I say something real quick about that? I just want to say, I was down at school boards, and this was so exciting to me, and the fact that we were able to bring this to fruition in such a short amount of time and on such a shoestring budget. I mean, the one thing West Milford does things really well with a little bit of money. And I'm so excited that we're bringing this to our district and to our kids. And I just had one question now. So the classes that you, like 6th, 7th, 8th, so is that for September?
that's for September.
And so when are the kids going to be able to pick those, since they already picked their electives?
So we approved the creation of the esports curriculum a couple meetings ago. That's a curriculum writing that we're going to be doing this summer. This summer with Tom, and I think one of his supports in that process. It's going to be replacing the old multimedia cycle course. So this will be assigned to students. It's going to be part of their cycle course offerings. So that's something that we've been working on with Dr. Matlos and Mr. Brooksarnicle about scheduling this and cycling it in. As we mentioned with the reference to chronic absenteeism, those are the students who are going to be scheduled first when we bring our 5th grade from, our incoming 5th graders who are in that demographic. They're going to get to experience this first because we're going to, try and build that excitement and see if the research really supports what we're talking about. In terms of scheduling, that's a process that they're in progress doing now. So I don't think it's going to be not going to reopen it for course requests. It's just going to be a replacement of course requests that may have been already in there that have changed when we had some retirements. So when they opened that portal February.
Yeah.
So we were still building at that point. So that communication will come out once we know exactly how that schedule is going to lay out and how many kids we can get opportunity and exposure.
Awesome. Thank you again for creating this space, literally and figuratively, for this demographic of kids.
Yeah.
Well, it's for everybody, but we're starting with that. And that's the one thing, looking back at some of the things we've done, when we started the STEM class at McApin, it started for G&T students, gifted and talented. And in hindsight, that was a mistake. STEM was for all, and that's what this is. So we're going to get as many kids exposure to this as possible, and the students who have that interest, it'll probably be more of a selection course as they reach 8th grade and go on to the high school. But in 6th and 7th grade, they're going to get exposed to coding, they're going to get exposed to esports, they're going to get exposed to robotics, they're going to get exposed to our SEL, they're going to get exposed to a variety of our options.
Thank you, Mr. Novak. Anyone else? Yeah.
Is there an esports program available for elementary children?
Not yet.
Not yet. It's
Right.
really
So we have a
exciting.
we have a great space, and it's big.
Yeah.
You'll see it when we're over there later. And we have talked about, with Mr. Santora, with Dr. Matlos, about opening it up and allowing for a club, which would require a bus, which we've done in the past with our fishing club. They take a bus somewhere. So if we have to bus our 5th graders over to get time in that space to be part of a club, those are things we're talking about
Well, that's
incredibly.
nice. Very excited for these kids.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
We're also talking about, I don't know, I'm gonna ask him if we can rent it out for birthday parties. To be determined on that. Revenue. We have to build a high school lab.
All right, thank you, Mr. Novak. Mr. Schultz, special reports and correspondence.
I'm sorry my report's not as interesting and fun as that. I just have the April 29th regular public budget meeting, budget hearing meeting minutes, and the April 29th executive session minutes.
I move to approve the April 29th regular public budget hearing meeting and executive session meeting minutes.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in
Yeah, I just have one quick comment. Whoever does the minutes, excellent job. Excellent job.
Mrs. Conlon, she does a great job. Board docs makes it a lot easier.
Pass on the regard. That's it,
Don't take
thanks.
the wind away by saying board docs does a
It's
great
good
job.
Right.
She loves it.
Like your sales on
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. President's report. Thanks to Ms. Seidner. Yet again, I really have nothing to add to your extensive report. I'm going to miss you, Megan. So let's move on to public comments, which is the first public comments on agenda items only. Anyone wishing to speak?
Mrs. Romeo? No.
it.
There you go.
We're running low on our batteries. That's what it is.
So hold on, as you, are you speaking?
Agenda items, I don't
Okay.
have it, thank you.
So all speakers will have 5 minutes to speak until a
There is
period
somebody signed
of,
up, though.
I'm sorry.
There's somebody signed up?
No one contacted me. to
Okay,
speak to
there's
you.
someone out of here.
All speakers will have 5 minutes to speak until a period of 30 minutes transpires. Before speaking, please state your name, group affiliation, and address for the record. Members of the public who have requested to speak prior to the meeting will be recognized by the chair first. After speaking, all speakers are asked to sign the register provided and give their full name, group affiliation, and their address. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. No participant may address or question board members individually. All speakers are expected to have read the statement within the agenda regarding the regulations concerning public comments. Members of the public are reminded that they are legally responsible and liable for their comments. Mrs. Romeo?
Good evening. I'm here tonight to talk specifically about
So if you could just state your name
Oh.
and address, sorry,
Sure.
even though I said your name.
Kate Romeo, 1 Castile Drive, Oak Ridge. Item number 16.14. If you know me, or if you've watched any meeting that I've ever been on here in my time as a board member, you know that I am certainly excited and passionate about West Milford. And I am the first one, like Mr. Cano just did, to say thank you for spending our money wisely. But I'm also normally the first one to point out when we're making mistakes, or when we have made mistakes. And so I'm here tonight to ask you, please do not make another mistake. Please vote no on 1614. And there are a few reasons why. Number one, you've already paid David Rubin about $2,000. I know that when I was a board member, I didn't always have all the information. I sat in that seat and I felt like there were so many unanswered questions sometimes. Well, now, where I am now, I've opened every document I can possibly open so that I can have the answers to all the questions. And I know what you've paid this man already. I know that if you had indemnified me from the beginning, it would have cost you less money. So if you continue to pay him, you are going to continue to waste money, as you've already done with hiring him last June. And I have his bills, if anyone wants them forwarded. You could also get them from Mr. Schultz, of course. This board made a very difficult decision, I think, faced with a time of things that we didn't know about. Why? Because we always all worked together. We communicated really well in my time on the board, really well. And when there were ethics problems, we discussed them. I remember being in that back room and people coming in and saying, whatever it was, and we communicated. In this case, as you know, as I said in the last meeting, I tried to communicate, right? And the other side will not communicate with me. So therefore, I think the board did what they thought was right. However, it's not right. By hiring an attorney, you have, as a board, impeded yourself, put yourself in the middle of this ethics charge. So first mistake was hiring an attorney to discuss it at all. Second mistake was anyone other than the people named in it discussing it. And so now it is considered board business, as it's multiple times people on the board not knowing have made mistakes, right? And so, like I said, every time you speak to the attorney about an ethics charge that does not have your name in it, or if you are speaking of someone else, then you are putting yourself involved in that ethics charge, which board members are not supposed to do. The other thing is that, as I mentioned last board meeting, is that it was discussed in committee, and therefore it is definitely board business, and so therefore you need to indemnify Kate Romeo. And with that, I ask you to please vote no on hiring David Rubin again. It's not the right decision. It's not the right decision for every single member of this community, not just me, okay? It's for every one of us. We've wasted our money on that already. Please don't continue to do that. If you are unsure of what to do, then right now, as you go through, at least table 16.14 and discuss it. It would just really be sad to hire David Rubin to continue to misappropriate our tax dollars. And that's what no one wants to see. So this situation is sad. I know that no one likes it. It's not a good situation. But moving forward, this board has to do the right thing. And so that's it about that. The last thing I'll say about this is that policy number 0148, along with hiring David Rubin, if anyone wants a copy, I have a few copies of the policy. It is the board member indemnification policy, West Milford District policy. You can find it on their website. It's my understanding that this policy has never been discussed, not in committee, not in a meeting. So it's interesting that decisions have been made, yet you've never even discussed not following your own policy. You've never discussed it. So that's really a problem. And I know that most of you are here to do the right thing. So please do the right thing. Have discussions about decisions that are being made. Educate yourself on who you're hiring and why. I know that you want to do that. You don't want to be in the dark. You want to know what's happening. So thank you very much and have a great night.
Thank you, Mrs. Romeo. Anyone else wishing to speak?
If there's somebody signed up, should I take them up?
Is someone signed up to speak?
Well, I didn't sign up. But can I still speak?
Yeah. Is it about an agenda item?
I think so.
Okay.
It is, or yes, it is.
Okay. You don't have to say which agenda item it is. If
guys
it's
not
on
gonna
there,
do
yeah. Someone thinks it's on
Did you sign that?
I did sign it,
Okay,
yeah.
so then
Okay.
you are signed up, okay.
there. Okay.
First
So if
time.
you could just state your name and address and any group affiliation that you have.
Perfect. Kristen McPartlin, 122 Lakeshore Drive in Hewitt.
Thank you.
My kids go to UGL school. My son, he's now in Macapin. I understand that you guys are removing Miss Pappas. I think that's a huge mistake. I understand she has this math certification that you guys, I guess, want in Macapin, but she belongs in second grade. She has spent her career, moved around so many times, and now she's finally found her home in second grade, and I really think it's a mistake moving her. Sorry, she means so much to my family and to that school. I'm sorry, I wasn't gonna get upset. So I really, really, really think you guys have to reconsider. She belongs there. And you know what, if you were moving her to, let's say, Marshall Hill, because they need a second grade teacher, that's one thing. But to move this elementary school teacher to a middle school, I think is a real big mistake. I think she needs to stay at UGL in second grade. So please reconsider moving her and try and find maybe a different teacher to put in Macapin. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak?
Move to close public comment?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, so I know the amendments to the agenda are already included in there, correct, Dr. Kitchen?
Correct, everything in there is as it is presented in front of you right now.
Thank you. So could I have a motion to adopt the agenda as presented?
like to move to adopt the agenda as distributed.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, education, Mr. Sitovich.
I'd like to move items 12.2 to 12.15 under education.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Dan, we were just talking about changing field trips. Are these the field trips, or are these going to be amended at some point? Or?
So this field trip locations list, number 12.9, are you talking about?
Yes, sir.
So that's just our standing list of locations that we board approve every year. It's a massive list. It's basically every place we've ever been. We purge it every once in a while for places that have closed or no longer with us. This doesn't, it's just a catch-all. So all the places that we do go with those curriculum-based trips are on this list. If we meet with a grade level and decide that we want to make a change and something not on the list, then I'll bring it to you for an individual approval, and then it'll go on this list, and then we approve it again at the end of the year annually.
Thank you, Mr. Novak. Any other discussion? Mrs. Dwyer?
On 1212, have we granted this child tuition previously, or is this something new?
It does say retroactive from May 7th, so.
Okay, but did we do it last year also? It looks familiar.
I don't know if we can talk about specific.
Oh, I just wanted to know if it's, I don't want to,
If it's reoccurring.
if it's reoccurring.
I don't know the answer to that, but I also am not sure if we're able to discuss an individual,
Okay.
individual placement, yeah.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please. Mr. Schultz?
Mr. Sitovich?
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mrs. Jurgensen?
Yes.
Mr. Lippy?
Yes.
Mrs. Marquardt?
Yes.
Mrs. Rocano?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Dyke?
Yes.
Mrs. Lockwood?
Yes. We have no hand carries for education, so personnel, Mrs. Rocano.
I move, excuse me, I move items 14.1 through 14.40. And then do I move the hand carries at this point? And also hand carries, excuse me, 15.1 through 15.5.
Second.
Before we get started, I just wanted to acknowledge the retirement that's on here. So Miss Newell, we would just like to acknowledge and thank you for the almost 26 years that you have given to education, the district, and your students. Enjoy the next chapter in your life. That is number 14.2. Any other discussion?
I have.
Mrs. Ricano?
In regards to the resignations,
No, we're going to vote no on that.
I just want to thank Mr. Schultz for everything you've given to our district. You went to school in our district, you've now come to serve as in the capacity of ultimately business administrator and positions before that. So I just want to thank you for your time, and I want to wish you luck in taking back some of that time for your family. And I hope like you really, are able to take some of that time with your kids.
Thank you.
I echo the same.
Thanks.
Mr. Schultz, good luck.
Well,
You will
Billy,
be missed. Yes, good luck,
Yeah,
Billy.
yeah.
you know I'm not happy.
I know. Yeah, it's going to be hard to beat the commute from here, but
Oh, I'm sure.
I just
Good
want to
luck
thank
to you.
Yeah, I just want to thank you all. I've loved working here. The last year has been a blast working with Mr. Novak and Dr. Kitchen. This was just a tough opportunity. I had to jump on it for my family, more time home with my kids. Yeah, I'm going to miss everyone. I've had relationships with everyone here, either on the board or before everyone was on the board, or Mrs. Dwyer, I did a class project at your house when I was in high school. And played baseball with Will when I was a kid. So, yeah, it's been a long ride. I've enjoyed my 10 years here. I can't believe it's been 10 years, but just thank you everyone for everything and for giving me my start here.
Just think now I'll kind of
Many of us are happy, but we're all happy for you, so congratulations.
Thank you.
And you're still here for a couple of months, so.
I am. I'll look at, as a dad now, I'll look for a different way to be.
That's really nice.
Any other,
In the audience.
any other discussion?
Thank you.
Mrs. Squire.
Okay, on 1414, I just want to know how that time is going to be split for that $20,000 stipend. Will that stipend work be done after the day or within the day of his regular duties?
So I think
It's not working.
the answer is a little bit of both. So essentially, a lot of those things are already integrated into things we have going on. As we're evaluating our needs, I know we've discussed this at the committee level, there's a significant cost savings, but I also think that there's an opportunity there to increase the boots on the ground support in the buildings. So really what we're looking for from that role from Mr. Novak is oversight of personnel more so than the tech expertise, although he does have that as well, because as you can see, even just the construction of an esports lab, he knows what our needs are and how to empower the appropriate people to best meet those needs. So the idea is that it's more of an oversight of the people. The work that is being done within the department is still going to be done by the individuals, like in the boots on the ground, the techs. We're looking to add a tech position, and even with that, it's still going to be a really considerable cost savings to the district, almost $150,000. And I do believe that with the
That's even with his 3% raise and the 20,000?
Yeah, it's a really significant cost savings, and I think that I have all the faith in the world in Mr. Novak's ability to set up structures and manage people in a way that I think some of that time is going to be basically taken back by efficiency and systems. So we've got some ideas already of things we've been discussing that can be tweaked. So that's how we envision it going. And it is something, they are stipends, so it is something that if the structure is not working, we already had a conversation about reevaluating this after a year to see if this is going to work. What excites me about that is that even if we decide after a year that maybe this isn't working, we want to go back and rehire for that supervisory role. I now have a whole year of eyes in the department to see exactly what some of those needs are. So if we feel like we're falling short, we'll know exactly where we're falling short and what we need to do to support it. So.
Okay, thank you. And I have another question.
Sure.
On 1416, the unaffiliated, well, no, it's also 1414.
Yes.
Yeah.
I noticed that all the salaries are listed for all the secretaries in the district. Why aren't they listed at the board office?
So the secretaries, I don't believe the secretary salaries are listed for that. This is aligning them with the unaffiliated are not allowed to be part of the PERC unit for the central office staff because they're confidential secretaries based on that specific role.
I'm not talking about the confidential secretaries. I'm talking about the other secretaries in the office. Like their salaries are not there.
These are the confidential secretaries.
They're all confidential?
The ones that you're approving here. So it's not everybody in the office, right? So
What about number 1414? It just says unaffiliated personnel contracts approvals.
So that's not secretaries, those are the other individual unaffiliated personnel.
Okay.
And in on our negotiations team, and I know we discussed it as well at the committee level, the unaffiliated confidential secretaries in central office are not allowed to be part of the PERC recognized unit, but we decided collectively that we would recognize them locally as a unit that could negotiate together. So these motions are aligning them exactly with the same contracts that were offered to the ones that are in the PERC recognized unit. So it's one and the same. It kind of makes everything fair across the board for the people who can be in and those who can't. And then we also made sure it went up onto the agenda in the exact same fashion as the others in that unit.
But why can't their salaries be listed?
I mean, we want to be consistent with what we're doing. So if the salaries, if the salaries for the individuals in there are not listed, they're there by unit, and they're being recognized locally as a unit, and then we're doing it exactly the same as we would for those.
So-
The only ones that aren't are the ones that are sort of individuals that are unaffiliated, and they're no longer individuals. We're recognizing them as a group.
Okay, so if a person has a question about the salaries, they can Oprah that?
You absolutely
Okay,
could, yeah.
Good, thank
Yeah.
you.
So it's just a matter of consistency. So again, the only ones you'll see are the ones that are not part of a specific unit. They are unaffiliated, so they're like a single position, and though they're no longer a single position, it's a collective group, and it's going to match that of the others in the office.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Mr. Lepek?
First, Dan, looking forward to all these summer activities that you have planned here. Looks pretty fun again. Second, we're going all the way through 15, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Looking forward to that one over there. Okay. Hopefully we'll vote on it, we'll get past that, there you go. So I won't say anything to jinx it.
Any other discussion? Mrs. Buckwide?
So I just wanted to say that I was extremely happy about having Mr. Novak get the stipend and handle technology. Listening to his ideas, since I've been a board member and in technology, he is very in tune with that department as well as what the shortfalls are. I think this is a great idea. I think it is a show of how creative we are with the little money that we have. And I think he's going to do an excellent job. And like Dr. Kitchen said, even if it's only for a year to get us where we need to be and then put someone else there, I still think this was a fantastic idea and I fully support it.
Thank you, Mrs. Buckwide. Anyone else? Discussion?
I think I want to say something about the 14.21, the transfer of assignments. Just speaking as an educator, I know it's not always easy to be assigned or reassigned to another building or school, but our job as educators is to serve the district that we work for. So I really feel that all of these people are going to where they're being assigned, and they're going to take this opportunity to serve the district as the caring, engaging, dedicated educators that they are for all of our students. So I just want to say thank you for, the compliance for all of the staff members that are going with Grace.
Thank you, Mrs. Jorgensen.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please, Mr. Schultz.
Mr. Sotovich?
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mrs. Jurgensen?
Yes.
Mr. Lippy?
Yes.
Mrs. Markward?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Dyke?
Yes.
Mrs. Lockwood?
Yes. So now, because she has been voted in and we haven't jinxed it, Dr. Schwartz, congratulations. Very excited. For the future, would you like to say a few words?
So first, my dad is here, so thank you for joining my
He was heckling me earlier.
He was heckling me earlier. I'm gonna pay for that later.
You've done good, Danny. You've done
I just
good.
want to thank each of you because throughout my journey in West Milford, one of you, all of you at different times have really been supportive of my time, my efforts, my ideas. So I am very grateful for you supporting me moving on to this next part of my journey in West Milford. The past year with Mr. Schultz and Dr. Kitchen have been incredible. They've been so supportive, and the past 10 years with Mr. Novak from our UGL days straight on through have been nothing but inspiring. So I'd also like to thank all the different staff people I've worked with throughout the district over the past 10 years. And I'm here supported tonight. Now I'm going to cry because I looked over at them. By the actual PTA, they have been so incredible to work with, and a true team that I have been blessed to work with over at APSHWA for the past 2 years. So I thank them for being here as well. So I'm looking forward to the opportunity to work with all of you in the future. Thank you so much.
Dr. Swartz, we couldn't be more excited to have you step into central office. I think from the time that we knew that Dr. Ressa was going to be stepping away, he is taking a position a little closer to home, and when we knew he was stepping away, I had probably a dozen different people tell me that they thought you'd be a great candidate for the job, and my response was, well, I hope she applies, because I think she would be a great candidate. Mr. Novak and I were at Spring Leadership last week when you went through the first round, but you, to my understanding, were the unanimous choice from the entire panel, and then that was really clear to us in your interview with us as well. So we're so excited to have you come aboard, because I really think you're going to do great things. Thank you.
Can I say something?
Well, can I just say that I was a part of that hiring committee, and Dr. Schwartz, your passion and vision for this district, what you spoke to, what you said, and definitely resonated with all of us. And I think we were all very excited when you walked out on the possibilities and the future of special education in this district. It's going into some great hands. Thank you.
I have to say.
Okay.
I am so proud of Dana. I am so proud of her. I watched her on her bicycle with pigtails. I watched her many Halloweens trick-or-treating. She was my babysitter. She was a phenomenal teacher, a great student. And now to see her in this position, I am so excited and so proud to say that I know you, Dana. Thank you.
Okay, we have to move on. Operations and Finance, Mr. Lippe.
Okay. Under Operations and Finance, I'd like to move forward 16.1 through 16.39.
Second.
Any discussion?
I have a question.
Yes, Mrs. Ricano?
On 16.14, Billy, that is just approving that we could use him if we wanted, right? That's no out-of-pocket upfront cost?
Correct, it's just a retainer agreement. We have him on retainer. We approved him last year through May 21st for a one-year period, so this would be to get us to the end of the year, and then he's on the other renewals on another motion. But it's just a retainer agreement. If we use the services, then we are billed for it.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call please, Mr. Schultz.
Mr. Sotovich?
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mrs. Jurgensen?
Yes.
Mr. Lippy?
Yes.
Mrs. Marquardt?
I abstain from 16.14 and 16.30.
Yes to the others?
Yes, sorry, yeah.
Right. Mrs. Ricano?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Dyke?
Yes. Yes, and with the appropriate abstentions on that one.
And Mrs. Lockwood?
Yes. Okay, Mr. Lippe, back at you.
Okay, I'd like to move forward 16.40 for vote.
Second.
Conversation.
Any discussion? So this is for the New Jersey school boards? Attendance, or just to approval, not for the attendance?
We voted yes, except for abstention.
Yeah. Okay, roll call please, Mr. Schultz.
Mr. Sotovich?
That's a good question.
I abstain on myself and yes to the remainder.
There you go.
There you go.
It's a-
Good one to
We were
start
just talking about
with.
that.
You do it like that.
We were just making sure.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Abstain on myself, yes to everyone else.
Mrs. Jurgensen?
I'll also abstain on myself and yes to everyone else.
Mr. Lippy?
Abstain appropriately and yes to everything else.
Mrs. Marquardt?
Abstain on myself, yes to everyone else.
Mrs. Ricano?
Abstain on myself and yes to everyone else.
Mrs. Van Dyke?
Abstain on myself and yes to everyone else.
And Mrs. Lockwood?
Abstain on myself and yes to everyone else. Policy, Mrs. Marquardt?
I'd like to move 18.2.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, real quick, I just want to point out one thing. My computer seems to be frozen. So one thing that was slightly tweaked on that I want to draw everybody's attention to, you may have seen it. We had one line, I think it was in alignment actually with the discussion from the policy committee, but there was a line added to,
Policy and regulation.
yes, on the use of the electronic devices. There was one line that was added, just basically allowing for further restrictions. So we talked about making sure that the building administrator could approve its use in other ways, but we also had a line that said they could further restrict it in other ways. So in other words, like if it's allowed in the cafeteria by policy, it doesn't mean that the building has to allow it in their rules. It just means that they could allow it in their rules. So just so you're aware, I just thought it was in alignment with what we were seeking, but it also gives a little bit of flexibility to make sure that we can set appropriate rules in the individual buildings. So,
Thank you.
I have a question.
sure.
How are they going to be regulated, the phones? Like, are they going to be taken? Did you guys discuss that at all?
So, I mean, obviously it'll be in compliance with the policy. The tentative plan is to have like pocket charts or something like that where they're going to be surrendering them when they walk into the academic spaces.
Okay.
Our big thing, I know we discussed this at committee, but our big thing was we wanted to make sure that that was handled consistently across all the secondary classrooms where that would come up. For the main reason that, if you've got 20 kids in the room with a $1,000 cell phone, that's $20,000 hanging on the wall. And if that pocket chart falls off because it's not properly hung, I don't know how many screens would have been cracked beforehand, but you bet we'll be blamed for everyone that's cracked afterwards. So I think it's appropriate for us to do it properly. So Mr. Glenn had a couple of ideas. We looked at some different options. The last we discussed it was we were talking about, one of the options was these sort of go boxes you can surrender them into. So if you had an evacuation drill, you could grab the box of all the devices. And ultimately we decided that a go box could go at any time, and maybe it wasn't best for it to be something that was so easy to be moved, and they were more expensive. So in all likelihood it'll be a pocket chart, but to be determined by Mr. Glenn, some appropriately organized way of surrendering the device upon entering the classroom.
And bathroom breaks, is there any? Sorry, I teach high school. I'm just really interested in how we're going to roll this out.
So to be determined a little bit by the building administration, how they're going to enforce the rules on some of those things. But we wanted to make sure that the policy was appropriately restricting their access so that it could be a tool that our teachers could utilize to lean on as a crutch to when they're addressing some of these things. Because I think without that clear guidance, it makes it hard because it's happening different one classroom to the next, and then it sort of pins staff members against one another. We want a policy that supports the staff member, keeping the kids engaged in the learning activities rather than their cell phones.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call please, Mr. Schultz.
Mr. Sotovich?
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mrs. Jurgensen?
Yes.
Mr. Lippy?
Yes.
Mrs. Marquardt?
Yes.
Mrs. Rocano?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Dyke?
Yes.
Mrs. Lockwood?
Yes. Okay, committee reports, liaisons. I see that some of the reports have been uploaded. Is there anyone else wishing to add anything? Any of their reports? Sorry, Mr. Rocano.
I just wanted to share that the superintendent's roundtable is this Thursday, so those minutes will be reflected in the next board meeting.
Thank you. Any others? Okay, so seeing none, so we can move on to old business. Any old business?
Move to close old business.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And new business? Any new business?
Move to close new business.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Public comment number 2. Anyone wishing to speak in the second public comment?
Move to close public comment.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That was a big aye. Executive session. Mrs. Ricano.
At 8:41 PM, I move to go into executive session. Excuse me. The purpose of discussing personnel appointments, resignations, current litigation matters, special education matters, negotiations, HIBs, and matters of attorney-client privilege. The executive session minutes will not be released until such time as the privilege or confidentiality is no longer applicable. The board will be in executive session for approximately 30 minutes. Action will not be taken, and we will dismiss from executive session since we're going to be at that.
Second.
Aye. All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay.
Yeah, just to reiterate, we are doing it from the Macapin Lab, and something I should have mentioned when they stepped out. So our presenters on our esports lab were not just racing out of here when their presentation was done, but instead they were racing over to the esports lab to make sure that some of the work that was being done today was appropriately cleaned up, so it showed nicely for you, because they were doing some wiring in there today, right? Yeah. So anyway.
All right, and we will be adjourning from executive session,
So board members, you can drive around to the back corner, kind of by where the dumpsters are. If you drive out towards Maple Road, there's the trash enclosure there. There's a little bit of parking back in that area, and we'll pop in right through there, right next to the lab. Yeah.
Okay, and we will be adjourning from executive session, so good night, everyone. Thank you.